have that feel of what a sub-state championship game is all about.
Steve, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the McPherson girls, as this is the second consecutive game that they will use this lineup. First will be Emma Ruddle, a 5'8" junior at 9 points per game, and she's played some of her best basketball over the last 3 weeks with games of 12, 3, 10, 9. Emma Ruddle has really come on strong the back half of the season, and they hope to see that continue into tonight. Second will be Hannah Hageman, a 5'9" senior, averaging 6 points per game, 5 rebounds per game. And Hannah Hageman, when you tell her it's the postseason, she really begins to light it up with a great postseason a season ago. She had 8 points the other night in limited minutes because of foul trouble, and Hannah Hageman's got a few big shots tonight. Third will be Schieferecke, a 5'8" junior at 10 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, and 3 assists per game. She leads the team in scoring and in assists, and Schieferecke is the go-to person for this McPherson team here tonight. Fourth, Pyle, a 5'8" sophomore at 10 points per game as well. She's actually just about 3 points shy of Schieferecke on the year. Remember, almost all of that came with Pyle coming off the bench as well. She's the team's leader in rebounds at 6 per game, and Pyle is the spark plug for this team, as she had 15 the other night in their win over Andover. Then fifth will be Maggie Leaf, 5'10" senior at 5 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and Maggie Leaf has been so solid for this team all season long, and she's got a big challenge tonight going up against Bishop Carroll's Brittany Ho, one of the best players in the state. That's the starting 5 for the McPherson girls. Steve, let's take a look at our keys to the game tonight, presented by Alliance Agency, Inc., located on the second floor of the Warren Place for complete insurance services.
I think when the Bullpups get this late in the season, it's about making the 3-ball. The 3-point shot is, kind of come and gone at times this year. It's been pretty good in recent games, but they need one of those games where they just come out and knock a bunch of threes down.
That's our key to the game, presented by Alliance Agency, Inc., located on the second floor of the Warren Place for your complete insurance services. Starting 5 for the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles. Brittany Ho, a 6-foot senior at 17 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, as she is one of the better players inside from anybody in the Wichita City League, and really anybody throughout this area. Second will be Hannah Landwehr, a 5'8" junior at 8 points per game, 3 rebounds per. Allison McPherson, a 5'5" senior that will be playing at Fort Hays State next year. She's the third off the bench. Then Anna Otero, a 5'8" junior at 3 points per game, 4 rebounds per. And finally, Chloe Schuckman, a 5'7" sophomore at 7 points per game, and she is their leader in assists at 3 per game and also 3 steals per contest. See, this is a Bishop Carroll team that is 15-6. They have won 8 games in a row, and I don't know if this is a team that is going to be afraid coming into this environment here tonight.
Oh, I don't think so. When you play in the Wichita City League, you're not going to be afraid of anybody, and I think it's just going to be a great matchup. The thing is, it's just a bunch of really good athletes on the floor.
Our first half start is brought to you by the Community Foot Clinic, serving Central Kansas with comprehensive foot care since 1998. A trip to state is on the line here inside the Roundhouse. The winner will go back to Emporia as 5A returns to White Auditorium for the first time after leaving Topeka's Expo Center, and the Bullpups win the opening tip. Emma Ruddle taps it to the backcourt to our left. Pyle, Schieferecke, Emma Ruddle, Maggie Leaf, and Hannah Hageman, the 5 on the floor as Bishop Carroll comes out in what looks to be sort of a trapping 3-2 zone. A pass into the lane, gets tipped and back to Maggie Leaf. Ruddle swings the pass to the left wing. Schieferecke steps in, 18-footer, only goes about 17 feet, but a rebound in the air ball for Maggie Leaf. Her putback won't go. Emma Ruddle offensive rebound, and she finishes and won as Emma Ruddle got the roll. It hit off the bottom side of the rim, found its way down the cylinder, and a chance at a 3-point play.
And if the Bullpups get 3 chances every time down the floor, gotta like their chances. They're gonna make 1 out of 3, that's for sure.
Emma Ruddle steps to the free throw line, a 68% free throw shooter on the season, and she cannot complete the 3-point play. Bishop Carroll with the basketball for the first time. 30 seconds in, 2-0 McPherson. Bishop Carroll with green jerseys, white lettering outlined in gold. Over to the right wing for Anna Otero, 5'8" junior. We go back up to the top 4, Hannah Landwehr. Back into the hands of Allison McPherson, one of the best guards in the state at the 5A level. Here comes Chloe Schuckman stepping into the lane, and they're going to call a reach on McPherson. It'll go on Pyle. That's her first.
And I'm curious to see if Coach Strathman says something to the officials about Allison McPherson. She's got this little hesitation move that looks like a palm, and some of the fans were kind of giving that palming signal, and I agreed with them.
Bishop Carroll going to the basket to our left, and now Maggie Leaf gets a hand in the passing lane. There's a steal for Pyle. Bullpups with a 2-0 lead here, 1 minute into the sub-state finals against Bishop Carroll. Pass into the lane, Schieferecke off the window, too easy. Great feed from Emma Ruddle on the baseline, and the Bullpups set up that full court pressure. We'll see how Bishop Carroll responds against this pressure here tonight. Emma Ruddle with a hand on the pass and a steal. Dumps it off Grace Pyle. Back door. Hageman throws up a shot. That's no good. Offensive rebound. Grace Pyle. Her putback won't go. Rebound on the floor. Emma Ruddle back out to Grace Pyle. Schieferecke back to Grace. Open look from three. Yes! What a sequence for the Bullpups and those second chance points. They are taking advantage here early on. 6:28 to go in the first. And like a rocket, the Bullpups lead 7-0.
Yeah, they've really come out with their A game so far, and they've punched Carroll in the mouth. Let's see how the Golden Eagles respond. But, boy, McPherson is just getting every loose ball. They're crashing the offensive boards. And right now, I think Bishop Carroll's just a tad shell-shocked.
7-0. McPherson leads here right out of the chute. 1 minute and 32 seconds in. And this is a Bishop Carroll team that has only had the ball one time. Golden Eagles, I know that it's going to be tough for them going up against this pressure because this is very different than what a lot of teams are used to. And the Bullpups don't even get to show this full court pressure all the time because so many times throughout this year, they're up by 25, they're up by 30, they take off the pressure. And this is a team, whenever they get to let it fly, they can really make some teams pay. Bishop Carroll out of the timeout. They'll go from right to left. They break the pressure and stop in the lane, and a travel will be called. Speeding him up a little too quickly as Chloe Schuckman drove in, lost her pivot foot, and fell down to the ground. Turnover going back to the Bullpups. That is Bishop Carroll's third.
And Carroll coach Taylor Dugan, she has a very concerned look on her face. During that timeout, she was telling her team, calm down, relax, you're too uptight.
Just underway here in the first quarter. McPherson already with a 7-0 lead. Bishop Carroll showing that zone defense again. Pass it to the right corner for Maggie Leaf. Bullpups trying to get the ball inside as Maggie Leaf now goes back to the block. Grace Pyle wants to throw it to her, but they get the ball to Ruddle on the right corner. Leaf is double teamed, throws up a shot, she's fouled, and will go to the free throw line for two. Great sequence there, and great patience by this McPherson team to wait, get the ball inside, and the foul is called on Anna Otero for Bishop Carroll. That's her first team foul number one, and Maggie Leaf going to the line for two.
Yeah, the Bullpups got a nice switch there, and Maggie, line drive free throw. I love the way she shoots those free throws. They're like bullets, 2-iron.
6:02 left to go in the opening quarter. Maggie Leaf so far this season a 56% free throw shooter. Second one is good. Grandma Joyce in Fort Smith, Arkansas, always rejoicing after Maggie Leaf knocks down 2 for 2 at the line. The Bullpups lead at 9-0 here, 2 minutes in. Trying to clinch that 32nd trip to state. There's a steal by Emma Ruddle in the pressure. Lincoln Schieferecke dribbles in. Right hand off the window. No, and a rebound underneath for Brittany Ho. Great take, but just missed it a little bit short. And Allison McPherson and the Golden Eagles, without that pressure, will walk the ball off the floor.
Carroll would like to get a shot off. I mean, it has been difficult. They have yet to take a shot.
Anna Otero up at the top. They leave her wide open. A foot was on the line. Her 2 bricks. Rebound for Hannah Hageman, who rips the ball away.
Well, the big difference right now that I see, McPherson has the better athletes.
Lincoln Schieferecke passes into the left corner for Hannah Hageman. Bullpups going to the basket to our right. Ruddle in the lane, right hand off the glass, what a move! Emma Ruddle went right over the top of Brittany Ho, and the Bullpups lead 11-0. And now they set up in that full court pressure. Bishop Carroll trying to break out of this. Lincoln Schieferecke tight defense. McPherson into a 1-on-4, and now the Golden Eagles will set up on offense. 3 minutes in, and Carroll has taken one shot. McPherson a step back 3, foot might have been on the line. Bricks it off the window to the right side anyway. Rebound Grace Pyle.
And they still haven't even hit the rim on a shot.
Pass right down to the baseline. Maggie Leaf layup won't go. Gets her own rebound somehow. Turns around in the lane. Second one won't go. And a rebound for Allison McPherson.
Maggie Leaf really working hard in there.
Going up against a very good defensive player and a defensive center in Brittany Ho. 6 foot, a senior. She'll be playing at Northeastern Oklahoma State in Tahlequah. 4:30 left to go in the opening quarter. 11-0. McPherson leads. Anna Otero on the left elbow. Passes over to the right wing, trying to work the ball inside for Brittany Ho, who has hardly touched the ball so far in this game. They've done a great job of defending her. McPherson goes to the right wing. Bullpups lead by 11. Bishop Carroll 0 for 2 from the floor. McPherson, open look from 3, left wing. This one's short. Rebound knocked out of bounds off of the Golden Eagles, then back to McPherson.
And another thing I can see for Bishop Carroll, they are basically 2 players, and the other 3 are support players. And they're not even looking to get involved in the offense. It's McPherson and Ho, and the other ones are just kind of standing and watching.
Kendall Forbes, the 5'7" freshman, will check into the game for the first time for this Bishop Carroll team. 3 points per game, 2 rebounds per game. Halfway through the first, 11-0 McPherson. Maggie Leaf passes to the lane. Grace Pyle sheds one defender, throws up a shotgun undercut, No foul call to the miss, and a rebound for Brittany Ho. Ho will run the floor. J.C. Burghart checked in a moment ago for McPherson. So pass left corner. Forbes, open look from three. And there's Bishop Carroll's first answer. The Golden Eagles are on the board, 11-3. And now they get a steal in the pressure. They almost turned it over, and it was almost an easy two for Bishop Carroll. But a miss on the layup by Chloe Schuchman. Right corner. J.C. Burghart tries a three. That one's no good. Rebound goes nearly out of bounds, but kept alive by Bishop Carroll. Now the Golden Eagles in control, running down to the other end. They'll stop the offense and slow things down. 3:20 to go in the first quarter, 11-3 McPherson. Back out to the perimeter on the right side. Trying to reset the offense and drive down the right side. That was Kendall Forbes. Ball was knocked out of bounds. They're actually going to say there was a foul called.
I think they got Hannah Hageman.
And it will go on Hageman. That is her first team foul, number 2. Cassie Cooks will check into the game for the first time tonight for Maggie Leaf.
Man, did Maggie, she was working in there, wasn't she?
She has really been playing well and playing so hard. And you can see it from a lot of Maggie's facial expressions. She's constantly just grimacing and waiting for the basketball and playing tight defense. She's had a great senior season so far. Right wing for the Golden Eagles, going to the basket to our left. An 11-point McPherson lead here early. Into the lane, Brittany Ho squares up to the basket on the left elbow. Drives down the side. That's no good. Great defense. Cassie Cooks grabs the rebound, and a foul will be called on Brittany Ho right after the loose ball. Brittany Ho might have been a little bit of a frustration foul as she pushed from behind. That's her first team foul, number 3.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. You can just see her facial expression. She was upset that Cassie Cooks was not called for a foul, and she just decided to whack her.
11-3, McPherson leads. 2:45 left to go in the opening quarter. Lakin Schieferecke dribbles over here to the near side and hands off for Hannah Hageman. Schieferecke with 2, and now they'll call a reach on Allison McPherson. All of Bishop Carroll's best players are starting to rack up some fouls. 2:42 left to go in the first. McPherson with 1, Brittany Ho with 1.
And the Bullpups haven't scored in over 2.5 minutes.
They still lead 11-3.
Yeah. Well, their defense has just been great so far. Burghart getting some very important minutes early tonight.
They'll inbound to her in the backcourt. J.C. Burghart did not score for the Bullpups in their win over Andover on Wednesday night, but did play some very big minutes defensively guarding Shanti Henry for the Trojans. Lakin Schieferecke dribbles in, passes to the right corner for Burghart. Now they'll reset back up top. 2:22 to go in the first. 11-3 McPherson leads. Lakin Schieferecke putting on a dribbling clinic in the lane. Hannah Hageman tries a 3. This one misses a little short. Rebound tipped around and grabbed by Brittany Ho. Good look, just left it a little short.
Yeah, Bullpups now have gone cold over 3 minutes without a score, but again, their defense is keeping them comfortably ahead.
4 turnovers so far on the Golden Eagles. Allison McPherson, nice move. Hesitates, drives into the right side and tries an 18-footer. That's no good. Rebound, Hannah Hageman. Hannah Hageman already with 3 rebounds. Grace Pyle with 3 so far as well. Maggie Leaf with 2. Right wing, J.C. Burghart under 2 minutes to go in the first. They're trying to run a pick and get the ball for Maggie Leafer. Instead, Hannah Hageman inside. They get it to her. She's doubled. Passes to the backside for Cassie Cooks. She's doubled. Shot goes up over the top and good. Cassie Cooks has turned it on from 5 feet and in the last couple of games as she goes over the top of the great Bishop Carroll center, and the Bullpups get an easy 2. Lakin Schieferecke knocks the ball out of bounds. They'll say it's off the Bullpups last and stick with Bishop Carroll on the sideline right in front of us.
Ruddle and looks like Sweat into the game. Pyle and Hageman, I believe, go to the bench.
Cassie Cooks, Andrea Sweat, Lakin Schieferecke, Emma Ruddle, and J.C. Burghart, the 5 on the floor.
And I think this lack of depth for the Eagles is going to start to show here in a bit.
McPherson passes to the right wing for Kendall Forbes. Works around a screen, now gets a switch. Forbes drives in, shot is blocked by Andrea Sweat. Brittany Ho dives to the floor, but taken away by Emma Ruddle. Running into a 2-on-1. Bounce pass, J.C. Burghart off the glass and good! What a finish by J.C. Burghart! Emma Ruddle running the point and bounces it off perfectly. 15-3, McPherson leads.
Man, Emma Ruddle's been very good tonight, and McPherson, they're speeding her up, and she's getting doubled, and she doesn't know what to do, almost a 5 count.
50 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. Brittany Ho tries a 2 that banks in, sits up on the backside, and falls down.
That was a prayer that was answered because Brittany Ho just kind of flung it up there, and Coach Stratton wants 1 shot.
15-5, McPherson leads. 30 seconds left to go in this opening quarter. Bullpups have come out hot, and that is exactly what they needed to do tonight against a very good Bishop Carroll team. Lakin Schieferecke loses her dribble, has to pass it back to J.C. Burghart with 22. Burghart back to Schieferecke out by half court. Lakin Schieferecke calm, cool, as Steve would say. Cool hand Lakin.
The queen of calm.
The queen of calm with the basketball in her hands and 10 seconds left in the quarter.
Oh, that's a foul, man.
Passing to the left wing, Emma Ruddle with 7. Ruddle works off a high hedge. Right wing, Lakin Schieferecke passes right corner. Burghart passes Ruddle, top of the circle, fires a 3 at the buzzer. That one won't go. And that'll do it for quarter number 1 here inside the Roundhouse. A great start for the Bullpups. They lead Bishop Carroll 15-5. Quarter number 2 coming up next. We're back after this. Listening to Bullpup basketball in 96.7 FM KBBE. Start of the second quarter inside the Roundhouse. Jim Joyner, Steve Sell, 96.7 FM, KBBE. Or for those of you listening at MidKansasOnline.com, the Bullpups with a great start here tonight. They lead Bishop Carroll 15-5 inside the Roundhouse. And Steve, the thing that I think stands out to me most is that the Bullpups took 17 shots in that opening quarter. Bishop Carroll was held to just 9. The Bullpups with 12 rebounds. Bishop Carroll with 6.
Yeah, and the Bullpups are the far more aggressive team. They're the sharper team right now. Bishop Carroll, to me, just looks a little bit overwhelmed by the enormity of the situation. This is a team with a bunch of players back from a state tournament team. And again, I still think the constant, subbing by Coach Stratman is going to wear this team down.
Bishop Carroll with the basketball to start this second quarter. Emma Ruddle will be called for a reach and almost had a steal and score going the other way. Emma Ruddle, Grace Pyle, Cassidy Beam, Maggie Leaf, and Hannah Hageman, the 5 on the floor to begin this second quarter. Bishop Carroll with Allison McPherson, as well as Chloe Schuckman, Hannah Landwehr, Brittany Ho, and Anna Otero. Dribbling down the right side is Schuckman. She scored a basket early on. She scored a 3-pointer, and that's Bishop Carroll's only 3-pointer. Brittany Ho has 2. It's a 15-5 McPherson lead. Allison McPherson is yet to score. Passes to Otero on the left elbow. Otero, they are almost not guarding her. She'll drive down the right side. Nearly travels, but a steal by Hannah Hageman.
I was just going to say, Jim, it looks like the Bullpups have a tremendous scouting report because there's a couple players they're almost not even guarding because they don't think they can make shots.
Grace Pyle dribbles over to the left wing, hands off Hannah Hageman. Thought about a 3, dumps it inside. Maggie Leaf to an open Emma Ruddle at the top. Will pump, drives down the right side of the lane, passes back out for Cassidy Beam. Stepping in, great pass. Maggie Leaf scores off the window. Cassidy Beam with a great vision to find Maggie Leaf all alone, and the Bullpups lead 17-5.
And this is an absolute dissection right now. The Bullpups on offense are just slicing up this Carroll zone.
Bowie Schuckman almost travels. They pass to Otero in the right corner. Brittany Ho on the wing. They'll give her the 3-pointer. She is such a phenomenal inside player, but Bishop Carroll has had a hard time getting her the ball inside so far tonight. Credit Maggie Leaf, credit Hannah Hageman. McPherson passes into the right corner for Anna Otero. 6:30 left to go in the second. Now they'll give Ho the 3. She'll try it. Way too strong. Rebound Cassidy Beam. The Bullpups are baiting them into some 3s, and so far Bishop Carroll has fallen for the trap. Hannah Hageman stops on the right wing, dumps it down. Maggie Leaf, great move, and great finish with the right hand. Right through a couple of Bishop Carroll defenders. Maggie Leaf with back-to-back buckets, and they lead by 14.
Yeah, Maggie's brought her A game tonight. And one thing I noticed the last time down, the Bullpups are fronting and backing Ho. They're leaving one of those other players open. They're just daring them to shoot like that one, and they paid for it that time.
And that one goes from Hannah Landwehr as that one falls from the top of the circle. That's her first 3-pointer of the night, 19-8. McPherson leads with 5:50 left to go in the second. Cassidy Beam in the right corner. They got to make sure they get a hand in her face because she has been such a great 3-point shooter for McPherson off the bench. Speaking of great 3-point shooters, Hageman tries a 3 from the corner. No good, but a rebound tipped out for Hageman. Back to Cassidy Beam. Right corner, Grace Pyle thought about a 3. She's being defended by Allison McPherson. Back up top into the hands of Emma Ruddle, and the Bullpups slow things down. Ruddle with a crossover move, drives and kicks into the right corner. Beam pumps on a 3. They come out on her hard, and they'll reset again.
And they're able to get Schieferecke some rest right now.
Maggie Leaf in the lane, passes back to the top. Hageman switches to her left side, tries a 3, no good. Rebound, Emma Ruddle on the offensive glass, and this one was tipped by Bishop Carroll.
Great call by Don Kennedy. He saw that ball tip off the Carroll defender. Schieferecke coming back. Don Kennedy all over that one.
He looks at Steve and says, hey, I think that radio guy's talking about me.
I'm talking in a good way about him.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
I thought Emma Ruddle might have tweaked something there on that last rebound, but I think she's okay.
Lakin Schieferecke will check into the game. Lakin Schieferecke, Cassidy Beam, Hannah Hageman, Maggie Leaf, and Grace Pyle, the 5 on the floor. Left wing for Cassidy Beam. who's getting some valuable experience for her going ahead here as she's just a sophomore. They get the ball to Grace Pyle. They leave her open for a moment. Dumping the ball inside for Maggie Leaf. Might have been fouled from behind. Nice defense, though, by Brittany Ho to come away with a steal. And Bishop Carroll survives that possession. 4:44 left to go in the first half. McPherson leads 19-8.
And McPherson and Ho have played the entire way. In fact, they have 3 players who've gone the entire way, and that's going to catch up to them.
Anna Otero drives in, draws a ton of contact, shot off the backboard. Great defense as they baited her into shoot. Now the outlet for Cassidy Beam. She is bumped. Hannah Landwehr will be called for the foul. Team foul number 5 on the Golden Eagles. And the Bullpups, Steve, so far, they have just out-scouted this Bishop Carroll team. They have them playing their game.
And Brittany Ho, with just a painful look on her face, she says, they're in front of me, they're behind me, I can't get the ball. She's averaging 18 points a game.
Bullpups with a 19-8 lead, 4:20 left to go in the second quarter. Grace Pyle hesitates, steps in, little floater in the lane, won't get the roll. She hits the deck, and a rebound on the baseline for Bishop Carroll. Grace Pyle a little slow to get up, but back into the action. McPherson dribbles in, passes left wing, an open 3. That one's no good on the miss there from Hannah Landwehr. Rebound Grace Pyle, trying to outrun everybody to the other end, draws contact off the glass, no good. But she'll go to the free throw line for 2. And Grace Pyle, for the first time I think all year, looks a little bit tired.
Well, she has just been busting up and down the floor, and she looks, I think they'll probably go to the bench here and maybe get her out of the game. Ruddle getting ready to come in, and she is going to come in for Grace.
And Anna Otero just picked up the foul for Bishop Carroll, and that is her 3rd personal foul. Grace Pyle misses the first free throw.
And if they have to go to their bench at all, they're really in big trouble because they simply get nothing out of their reserves. It's the starting 5 basically does everything.
Second one for Grace Pyle is good. She's up to 4 points. Now she will be replaced by Emma Ruddle. Ruddle, Lakin Schieferecke, Cassidy Beam, Hannah Hageman, and Maggie Leaf, the 5 on the floor. 20-8 McPherson, just over halfway through the second quarter. And again, setting up this full court pressure in the backcourt. Cassidy Beam, great defense, almost gets them into a travel. Allison McPherson will cross half court from right to left. The Bullpups are keeping the pressure on so high for this Bishop Carroll team. 3 ball from the left wing, an air ball. The miss and the offensive rebound for Carroll. Rebound bouncing out and tipped to the perimeter by Lakin Schieferecke. Grabbed by Cassidy Beam. And the Bullpups have just played this perfectly so far.
Cassidy Beam getting some really big minutes.
Lakin Schieferecke crosses over, step back, 15-footer, good! Lakin Schieferecke, the queen of calm, knocks down the 15-foot J. She's got 4 points, and the Bullpups lead by 14. And that should have been a backcourt violation, and it is. Allison McPherson caught the ball about 5 inches on the front court side of the half-court stripe, and then passed it back to one of the Bishop Carroll players that was coming back into their offensive end. And this is what happens when you play this pressure, Steve. And when you're not used to playing this trapping zone, you forget where you're at on the court. You forget what your own name is. You forget where you're playing.
Well, I always talk about body language. If you could see the body language of the Carroll girls going back to the huddle, it was a look of defeat. I mean, I know we got a long way to go, but they don't look like they can win tonight.
22-8, McPherson leads with 3:13 left to go in this first half. The Bullpups so far from the field, 9 out of 23, 1 out of 6 from 3, 3 for 5 at the free throw line. Bishop Carroll has been baited into some shots, and they are 3 out of 15 from the floor. The only thing that has really kept them in this so far, Steve, is knocking down 2 of their 6 three-pointers. Bishop Carroll has yet to go to the free throw line.
Well, Brittany Ho is averaging 18 points a game, and she's barely getting any touches, and when she does, she's heaving it from 3-point.
Brittany Ho with 2 points and 4 rebounds. Allison McPherson, this team's debatable best player, with no points so far tonight. 1 rebound and an 0 for 3 mark from the floor. Bullpups with the basketball out of the Bishop Carroll timeout and a 22-8 lead. 3:05 left to go in the second quarter.
And Beam has played about the whole second quarter for the Bullpups, so McPherson doing a great job of resting people.
Cassie Cook's into the game. They get her the ball. She draws a triple team and somehow scores underneath. Cassie Cooks pulls a Houdini and gets the ball out of the trees. She scores her second basket, got 4 points. 24-8, McPherson leads here early on. 2:45 to go in the second quarter. Bishop Carroll sped up. They get into their offensive end. Now nearly a steal for Hannah Hageman. Ball is knocked out of bounds. They'll say it's last touch by the Bullpups right in front of that red-out student section.
And again, it's the difference in athleticism. The Bullpups are just so much more athletic than Carroll. Carroll's got a couple good athletes, but McPherson's got a great athlete at every position.
And Hageman and Cassidy
comes
come out.
Yeah, what a great effort by Beam, who did not play in the first quarter, but she played almost 6 minutes here in the second quarter.
Lakin Schieferecke, Andrea Sweat, Emma Ruddle, Cassie Cooks, and Grace Pyle, the 5 on the floor. How many teams in the state of Kansas and in the Midwest do you think would like to have Andrea Sweat and Cassie Cooks coming in off the bench?
And Cassidy Beam and J.C. Burghart.
2:35 left to go in the second, 24-8. McPherson leads as this has been a dissection defensively, and now a bad pass is thrown into the baseline. They had swarmed Brittany Ho. She couldn't get the basketball, falls down, and the ball goes back into the baseline. Another turnover on the Golden Eagles. That's their 7th.
And it's interesting to look across the way at the Carroll people. They're just like, what is going on here? What has happened to our team?
This is a McPherson team that is only allowing 33 points per game. And they make their opponents do some silly things, too. Emma Ruddle works off a 2 screens, and now her pass is stolen. Nice steal by Chloe Schuckman. Dribbling to the other end, stops on the right block, and gets the shot to go. That's her first basket. Makes it 24-10. Schuckman with 2, 3 for Hannah Landwehr, 2 for Brittany Ho, and 3 from Kendall Forbes. This is a Bishop Carroll team that doesn't tend to go too deep into its bench, more than about 2 players into the bench. Andrea Sweat, top of the circle. She'll hand off to Grace Pyle on the right wing. They hedge high on her. Down to 1:45 to go in the second. Lakin Schieferecke, a corner 3. Off the back iron, no, and a rebound underneath by Kendall Forbes. The freshman has played some big minutes tonight for Carroll.
That's the amazing thing. The Bullpups can't buy a three-pointer. They have, what are they, 1 for 7?
1 for 7.
1 for 7. They can't buy a 3, and they're still up 24-10 because their inside game has been so good.
Carroll cannot get the ball inside. Now they'll try a deep 3. Allison McPherson knocks it down. What a shot. Contested 3 from the top. That's her first. She averages 13 points per game. Those are her first 3 with 1:15 left to go in the first half.
Now remember, Andover was down 19 to the Bullpups and got it down. And again, a lot of body checking out front.
Now nearly a steal for Carroll. Diving to the floor and coming away with a steal to Schuckman. Up the floor, Carroll running in transition, and they throw it out of bounds. That could have been an easy breakaway layup for 2, but Carroll just a little bit sped up, and Kendall Forbes had a tip off her fingers out of bounds. 1 minute to go in the second. 24-13 McPherson.
And I think Coach Stratman may just go for 1 unless the Bullpups get a breakaway layup.
Lakin Schieferecke nearly bumped. Dribbles behind her back. Nice move. Back to Grace Pyle. Right wing, Emma Ruddle. Ruddle flares a pass. Grace Pyle, left wing, a 3, and knocks it down. Grace Pyle lets it fly. She's got 7, and the Bullpups lead 27-13. Allison McPherson dribbles in, contested 15-footer short. Rebound, Brittany Ho goes back up with it, and she's fouled, and will go to the free throw line for 2. Great offensive rebound there for Brittany Ho, and she earns her way to the free throw line. Foul called on Cassie Cooks, her first, and team foul number 4.
Well, I think Brittany Ho's just had enough. She just powered her way to the basket that time to get that rebound.
So far, just 2 points tonight for Brittany Ho, but 5 rebounds, and her first free throw is good. Like I mentioned earlier, Brittany Ho will be playing Division II basketball at Northeastern Oklahoma State in Tahlequah. Their win over Newton on Wednesday night, 50-39. Ho scored 18 points. Bullpups down to 30 seconds left to go in the second quarter and a 27-14 lead. Second free throw for Brittany Ho. Looked a little short. It rins around, and a rebound for Cassie Cooks. Now they will want the final shot of this half. Emma Ruddle trying to get the ball back to the hands of Lakin Schieferecke. Now they've got to cross half court into the hands of Cassie Cooks, and now it's taken away. Ball is down on the deck. They'll call a jump ball, and fortunately, the arrow points McPherson's way.
The Bullpups just made an absolute mess of that play. And that's too bad because, you know, they wanted to go for the last shot because they get the ball to start the second half. Well, now they won't because Carroll will get the ball on the alternate possession.
Ruddle passes into the backcourt for Grace Pyle with 15 to go in the second quarter. McPherson has been dominant in this first half. They lead 27-14. Ball in the hands of Lakin Schieferecke with 7. Lakin dribbles to the left side, nearly loses it. Ball goes down to the floor, trying to get rid of it, throws it at half court, and the shot clock and the game clock will expire, and that will do it for half number 1 as the Bullpups just kind of messied up that final 30 seconds of the first half. But Steve, a very dominant performance defensively in half number 1. Bishop Carroll 5 out of 18 from the floor, and if it wasn't for 3 for 7 from 3, the Bullpups would be running them out of the gym. But a great first half for this McPherson team, and you've said it several times, the A word, athleticism. They've shown it tonight.
Yeah, it's all about athleticism, as Roger Tribble likes to say. And the Bullpups just have an athlete at every position. To me, it looks like Carroll's got a couple girls that are just out there as complimentary players, just not, playing defense and doing their job. But all the Bullpups are a threat, and great first half.
Half number one is in the books here inside the Roundhouse of the Sub-State Finals. The Bullpups trying to get back to the state tournament for the 32nd time in the 50th year of McPherson Bullpup basketball on the girls' side. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll dive into the halftime stats on our Prairie Land Partners halftime show. We'll do that in 3 minutes. Listening to Bullpup basketball, 96.7 FM, KBBE. We're about ready to start the second half, Steve, as we take a look to the beginning of this second half for the McPherson girls, who lead by 13. How about your keys to the second half, presented by Alliance Agency, Inc., located on the second floor of the Warren Place?
Start the half just as you did the first half, and if you do that, this game's over.
That is saying a lot because they got off to an 11-0 run, and certainly that would put this game away. Our second half start is brought to you by the Community Foot Clinic, serving Central Kansas with comprehensive foot care since 1998. As Bishop Carroll will have the basketball first, and they will go to the basket to our right. Emma Ruddle, Maggie Leaf, Hannah Hageman, Grace Pyle, and Lakin Schieferecke out on the floor to start the final half of basketball here inside the mighty Roundhouse until December of next year.
And you know what I always say, that first basket of the second half is so important.
Allison McPherson, as well as Hannah Landwehr, Brittany Ho, Anna Otero, and Chloe Schuckman, the five on the floor for Carroll. Brittany Ho tries a 15-footer, no good. What a rebound for Emma Ruddle off of the miss. Hannah Hageman gets the ball into her hands and out of Grace Pyle. Bullpups lead by 13, 27-14, trying to get off on a good start here in the second half. Lakin Schieferecke bumped out by the top of the circle, passes to the right wing for Emma Ruddle. Carroll still is in sort of a goofy-looking 3-2 zone defense. Emma Ruddle jump shot from 15, a little bit off to the left side, and a rebound for Anna Otero. Nobody scores on their first possession. Allison McPherson brings the basketball from left to right. McPherson with 3 first-half points, Brittany Ho with 3 first-half points, and I guarantee they're going to try and get those two going in the scoring column. 2 Division I basketball players next year as they are seniors. Now a poking steal by Lakin Schieferecke, and it lands in the hands of Maggie Leaf, and Brittany Ho is slow to walk down to the other end of the floor. Maggie Leaf says, we don't need her down here. Tries to go up the top and score. Ruddle off the backboard, no good. Rebound tips out to Lakin Schieferecke. Stops at the free throw line, now nearly taken away from behind, and back to Grace Pyle on the right wing.
And again, I think the McPherson coaches are kind of saying what I am, a lot of hand checking and bumping out front, not allowing the players to be creative.
Brittany Ho might have got smacked on the head as she's been holding her forehead. Maggie Leaf is now going into a pile. She's pushed from behind, and they are going to give the foul, I believe, to Chloe Schuckman. They will. That's her first. Team foul number 1 in the second half, and Brittany Ho looks a little bit dizzy. Steve.
Yeah,
she's still holding her forehead. I think that she might have either hit the floor or maybe bumped into Maggie Leaf's forehead. I'll continue to watch her and see if she looks like she's feeling all right. Left wing for Emma Ruddle, trying to work around a Maggie Leaf screen. Back to Grace Pyle on the right wing, drives the baseline, picks up that dribble. Now throws a pass in a no-man's land, and it's taken away by Schuckman. Schuckman down to the other end. Ruddle tries a trailing block and just misses. Schuckman with her second basket, and makes it 27-16.
And that's the only way Carroll's going to get back into the game. It's going to be starting with their defense. They've got to get stops.
Grace Pyle, another dangerous pass that ends up in the hands of Maggie Leaf, and now a foul will be called going over the back. Also again on Schuckman, that's her second.
And Coach Strathman, there was something he didn't like because J.C. Burghart coming in immediately for Grace Pyle. I think he needs to settle Grace down a little bit. She's gotten a little wound up here with some of her passing.
27-16, McPherson leads with 6:10 left to go in the third. Hannah Hageman off the inbound, passes back to the inbounder, Lakin Schieferecke, but her heels were still on the baseline, and so she's called for the turnover.
Very shaky start for McPherson. You know, you get that sizable lead at halftime, 13 points, and you feel like you're in pretty good shape, but you got to finish the game.
Setting up in the full court pressure, running into some trouble. They keep it in the backcourt. McPherson is going to be called for a 10 count. Or instead, they're going to call a timeout. They will get Carroll the timeout. I didn't see who called it. I didn't see where the signal came from.
It came from the bench.
Bishop Carroll gets the timeout at the last second, 27-16. McPherson leads here early on in the second half. 5:58 left to go in the third quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. Listening to Bullpup Basketball, 96.7 FM, KBBE.
Don't you just hate the car buying experience? High-pressure salesmen, complicated pricing, goofy promotions. Hi, this is Brad Beckman, owner of Eagle Care Autos in McPherson. We are a family-run used car dealership striving to do business by the golden rule. If you are looking for a good used vehicle and a fair, pleasant buying experience, consider Eagle Care Autos, West Highway 56, McPherson. Eagle Care Autos, quality, value, integrity, respect, and always with an aim-to-please attitude. See us online at eaglecareautos.com.
5:58 left to go in quarter number 3. McPherson with a 27-16 lead over Bishop Carroll here early on in this second half. And Steve, it wasn't the design start, I believe, for this McPherson team coming out of the locker room, but a chance now to settle in on defense and be able to take control of this game.
Yeah, they've been kind of scattered on offense. Haven't really gotten a good look at the basket so far. Kind of turned it over a couple times, too.
Allison McPherson and the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles going to the basket to our right, slipping to the basket. Shot off the backboard, will not fall down, and the miss there by Kendall Forbes. A rebound for Maggie Leaf. Outlets up the floor for J.C. Burghart, dribbling into a one-on-one. Tries to pass it back to the perimeter, knocked out of bounds off of Bishop Carroll. They'll say it stayed in, and it's taken away. Nearly a travel. A baseball pass is thrown, it's deflected, and now Bishop Carroll will slow things down.
And the Bullpups are handling the ball like an egg right now. They are really struggling to get their offense executed.
27-16, McPherson leads. McPherson drives, kicks, Otero, a three. That's no good, but an offensive rebound. McPherson steps in, tries a shot, no good. Rebound, Maggie Leaf, as she's getting hammered, falls down to the floor. Jump ball will go back to McPherson.
Man, I'll tell you what, they are just letting them pound each other on both ends of the floor. I mean, it is just mayhem in there. And on both ends, I mean, both ways. Grace Pyle's back in.
Grace Pyle and the Bullpups dribble from right to left, trying for their first basket of the second half. They'll pass it off. Maggie Leaf throws up a shot. She's fouled, and that'll put her to the free throw line for 2.
And did we get a technical?
I didn't see what happened. Foul's going to be called on Allison McPherson. That's her first. Team foul number 3 on Bishop Carroll.
I thought they maybe...
her second.
The way the crowd reacted and the way McPherson was acting, I thought maybe McPherson had gotten a technical, but apparently not.
Maggie Leaf, first of 2 free throws, gets the roll. Maggie with 7 points here tonight. 3 for 3 at the free throw line. 5:06 left to go in the third, and the Bullpups finally dent the scoreboard here in the third quarter. And Maggie knocks down both. How about a 2 for 2 at the free throw line? Grandma Joyce down in Fort Smith, Arkansas, Steve. I bet she's saying, woo pig.
You bet. And Taylor Dugan, the coach, told her star, Allison McPherson, you let me do the officiating. And apparently Ruddle dribbled the ball out of bounds.
No, they're going to call a foul on Emma Ruddle as she had a steal, started running down to the other end.
Very late call.
And that's what the reaction was for, is that they were saying that this was about 3 seconds late.
Yeah, it might have been a foul, but boy, you don't wait that long to call it.
Maybe his whistle fell out of his mouth. It was late.
Yeah.
Ruddle was about to go down to the other end and throw down a dunk. Bishop Carroll now passes out into the corner as they get the basketball back. 29-16, McPherson leads. Into the lane, Brittany Ho whips the pass out to the wing. Trying to drive down the side is Hannah Landwehr. Now they get the ball back inside for Ho, and they will call a light little bump on Maggie Leaf. It'll be her first, team foul number 2.
Yeah, that was a hip check. Maggie, I thought maybe Ho might extend that arm and hook a little bit, but she didn't do that. Smart play by Brittany Ho, and now we got a foul
on Maggie Leaf.
As
Brittany Ho was working around on the inbounds, Maggie picks up her second foul back-to-back. Team foul number 3. 4:40 to go in the third. Bullpups lead by 13. You feel comfortable, but they just haven't been able to put this Bishop Carroll team away yet. Shuckman drives in, nearly stripped by Ruddle. Back out to McPherson, pumps on a 3. Tries one from the left wing. Shot won't go. Rebound bouncing around and grabbed by Maggie Leaf. Now the Bullpups want to run. Here comes Lakin Schieferecke, who will slow things down. Crosses half court from right to left. Lakin passes out to the perimeter. Grace Pyle drives and passes into the corner. Ruddle slips the ball inside. Maggie Leaf going to work. Kicks it out left wing. Schieferecke now looks to drive, and a foul will be called on Bishop Carroll.
And
they will call it on the floor. That will go on Chloe Shuckman.
And Schieferecke saw Leaf out of the corner eye. That was going to be a layup, so that's a good foul on the Golden Eagles. Already 4 fouls on Carroll, and that's the third on Shuckman. She's going to have to come out.
4:11 to go in the third quarter. Lakin Schieferecke inbounds left corner for Grace Pyle. Now Grace tries a little 18-footer, and it's a line drive. A one-iron finds its way to go down on a tough angle. Grace has now got 9 points. That was lead by 15.
That was an odd-looking shot, but effective, and Ruddle got away with a foul.
Bishop Carroll breaks the pressure. Right wing, Schuckman with a bunny hop and a skip, and throws up a shot from three. No good. Rebound underneath for Hannah Hageman. Grace Pyle running up the floor. Ruddle steps in, and she will be called for a travel. Good call.
I'll tell you, Brittany Ho is having a hard time keeping up with this pace. You know, she doesn't come out of the game, and she's getting a little tired. And in fact, all the Carroll players really starting to, you know, show the effects of very little subbing, and that's because the Bullpups are keeping so much pressure on. Now we got a bunch of subs in. McPherson with only 2 starters on the floor right now.
Cassie Cooks, Andrea Sweat, Grace Pyle, J.C. Burghart, and Lakin Schieferecke. The 5 on the floor for McPherson with a 31-16 lead. Passing into the right corner, Forbes, the freshman. She's made 1 3. They give this one to her, and she knocks it down. Kendall Forbes was open. They were baiting her into shooting, and she makes them pay 31-18.
Well, apparently the scouting report is she can't throw it in the ocean because the Bullpups aren't even guarding her.
Well, the Bullpups saw the scouting report and the numbers that Forbes only scores 3 points per game and probably figured, hey, let's let her shoot. Left wing, Grace Pyle says, I'll fake the shot. Drives in on a pump fake and scores on a teardrop floater. She gets knocked down to the baseline, and she'll score anyway. She's got 11. The Bullpups lead by 15. Allison McPherson, her pass is stolen by Lakin Schieferecke, and a foul is called as Lakin was about to have a pick 6. Foul is called on Hannah Landwehr. That's her second. Team foul number 5 on Bishop Carroll. Here is the second half, and there's 3 minutes to go in the third.
And Allison McPherson is just about to come unglued out there. She is telling her coach, I can't do anything else. I'm trying. And Taylor Dugan, the former Taylor Stephen, is just perplexed.
2:55 left to go in the third. McPherson leads by 15. A couple of shots here, and they can begin to put this game away. Lakin Schieferecke takes a pass in the lane, dribbles back out to the three-point line. Lakin curls around a screen, 18-footer short. Offensive rebound, Cassie Cooks goes up strong. That shot's no good. Offensive rebound for J.C. Burghart. Into the lane, Andrea Sweat gets it to go. A one-handed shot for Andrea Sweat. She scores her first basket of the night, and the Bullpups lead by 17. How did that go down?
I'll tell you, she's got a lot of tricks in her bag. She shoots it from a lot of different angles. And Burghart, look at the defense by J.C. Burghart.
McPherson about to get called for a 5-second count, and instead Bishop Carroll gets the timeout.
Wow, Sweat and Burghart, a tremendous trapping defense there, and Cassie Cooks may have sprained an ankle.
She will limp over to the bench and get a little help there and hopefully just be able to jog that one off. 35-18, McPherson leads with 2:19 to go in the third. That type of defense right there, Steve, with J.C. Burghart out in front. I believe it was Lakin Schieferecke that was right there with her. You can't do much when McPherson applies this amount of pressure.
You know, when you bring Andrea Sweat up there on top, she's 6'1". She's got the wingspan of a girl about 6'5", and Burghart really was up in the face. That was just incredible defense. And the Bishop Carroll body language again. This does not look like a team that thinks it's going to win. And Cassie's saying, I'm okay. I think she's shaking it off.
It might have almost been that her knee got bumped.
It could have been knee to knee.
2:19 to go in the third. McPherson leads 35-18, and the McPherson girls, this is a team that looks relaxed. They look composed. This is not a moment that's too big for them.
We saw them before the game. They came over and talked to you, and I don't know what they were showing you something, some kind of video.
They put together a Full House montage video.
Okay, they put together a video, and they were laughing and giggling, and you would have never known they were playing for a sub-state championship an hour before the game.
2:15 to go in the third. Bishop Carroll with the ball out of the timeout. The Bullpups will trap. They'll go back to Forbes, right corner, trying to make her third of the night. No good. Rebound knocked out of bounds off of Lakin Schieferecke, and the Golden Eagles will keep it on the baseline. End of the game a moment ago was Jaden Allen, a 5'6" sophomore for Bishop Carroll.
It's hard to believe that Brittany Ho has just been no factor at all.
And speaking of Brittany Ho, she just got called for an offensive foul on the inbound play away from the action, and that'll be her team's second, or her second, team foul number 6.
She is very, very frustrated, and she's not getting very many touches. She's only got 3 points in the game, and you know she's going to be a first-team All-State player most likely.
And Grace Pyle tries to drive coast to coast as nobody guarded her. Can't get the shot to go. Rebound for Brittany Ho. Almost wants to pass it back into the backcourt, but now the Golden Eagles will reset. Jaden Allen thought about a cross-court pass back to the left wing. 1:50 to go in the third. Bullpups lead by 17. Allison McPherson directing traffic. Matched up on Emma Ruddle. McPherson down the right side. Blocked from behind Ruddle. McPherson gets her own miss. Back out to the perimeter. Deep three. Way off the mark. Rebound Maggie Leaf. What defense by Emma Ruddle. Those long arms altered that shot. Also got a piece of the shot before. 35-18. 1:25 to go in the third. Lakin Schieferecke drives down the left side, kicks it out. Andrea Sweat pumps on a three. Nice move. In the lane, floater. This one won't get the roll. Offensive rebound and put back for Maggie Leaf. She's all over the offensive boards. She's got 10 points, and the Bullpups lead by 21. And they will call a block on Lakin Schieferecke right in front of us. It looked like it was going to be a charge, 37-18. The Bullpups lead by 19.
Yeah, they tore up the padding on the score table. That was a train wreck right there.
Good job by Dave Gorson, the scorekeeper, right in front of the action to get out of the way.
Shane Bakusa, he'll have it all checked out.
1:10 left to go in the third. McPherson 37, Bishop Carroll 18.
And this is just an absolute dismantling. This team was second in the state last year. They've got a lot of their girls back, but you'd never know it by the way the Bullpups are taking them apart.
Bullpups showing them a little 1-2-2, 2-1-2 type of zone defense. Ruddle with a hand on the pass again. Steal for Lakin Schieferecke. Emma Ruddle all alone off the backboard. Won't get the roll. And a rebound. Nice defense there as Bishop Carroll closed in at the last moment and prevented an easy two. 37-18, that one might have been the backbreaker. Brittany Ho will step back to the three-point line and try one way too strong. Rebound underneath for Grace Pyle. They have got her frustrated. Now Grace running, nobody in front. Lakin Schieferecke stepping in. Backdoor for Emma Ruddle, just a little wide down the baseline. And back to Bishop Carroll. Those are two baskets that if McPherson played that sequence 10 times, they score on 9 of them.
And I'll tell you, Carroll's lucky this isn't a 25-point game. I mean, the Bullpups have all but run them out of the gym. This is just a flawless performance by McPherson tonight, and Carroll, they're finding out what the little roundhouse magic is all about.
How about Maggie Leaf with 10 points and 8 rebounds? Contested three right out of the break. No good on the miss there by Carroll. And now a foul is called on Allison McPherson. She'll pick up her third, team foul number 7, and the Bullpups are into the 1-1 in the bonus.
Yeah, and McPherson she is so frustrated.
And the official was standing there and said, "Hey, will you please pass me the ball?" And she threw it just wide of him, and it rolled down the baseline. So going to the free throw line is Grace Pyle for a 1-1 with 26.5 seconds left to go in the third. There was a lot of game left to go.
There really is, but I'll tell you what, Carroll's only scored 18 points in 3 quarters. Even if they'd go on an 18-0 run, they'd still be behind because it's a 20-point game now.
Grace Pyle knocks down the first of the 1-1. She's got a dozen points here tonight. What a sophomore season for Grace Pyle. Her second is good. She's got 13. She's got 2 more years of this, Steve.
Oh, yeah. She's going to put up some big numbers. She's going to be on the... there we go.
She might be the Bullpups' leading scorer by the end of the night. Outlet to the other end of the floor. Kendall Forbes misses a layup underneath, and a reach is called as Maggie Leaf grabbed her 9th rebound of the night. Maggie Leaf will go to the other end and will have a 1-1 as the foul is called on Jaden Allen. Steve, I made the comment to Coach Strathman when it was senior night that the player that I think has made the biggest improvement, that has made the biggest jump from junior to senior year, or at least from last year to this year, is the person at the free throw line for a 1-1, and that's Maggie Leaf. Her first one spins in and out, but an offensive rebound for Andrea Sweat. Bullpups pull the basketball back out. Now it's thrown into the backcourt. Grace Pyle tries to keep it alive, but this one will go back to Bishop Carroll. Would you agree with me that the biggest jump was made by Maggie Leaf?
There's no question. I mean, I didn't think she was even going to start this year. I thought Cassie Cooks, because she'd started so many games last year. But Maggie Leaf worked hard in the preseason, won the starting spot, and has not been out of there ever since.
What a year for Maggie Leaf. 10 points, 9 rebounds tonight. McPherson throws up a crazy three and gets it to go. What a shot by Allison McPherson. That's her second basket of the night. Lakin Schieferecke grabs the ball with 1 second left.
Again, the Bullpups just mess up the end of the quarter.
39-21, McPherson leads at the end of 3. Fourth quarter coming up inside the Roundhouse as the Bullpups are 8 minutes away from going back to Emporia for the state tournament. tournament? We'll find out in 30 seconds in the fourth quarter. We're back after this. You're listening to Bullpup Basketball, 96.7 FM, KBBE. Start of the fourth quarter here inside the Roundhouse as the Bullpups are feeling like a championship Friday. 8 minutes away from going back to the state tournament in Emporia next week. They lead 39-21 over Bishop Carroll here in the sub-state finals. Steve Sell, this is a McPherson team that defensively, I don't know if they've played another game better than the one they've played tonight this year.
I don't think so. The intensity level has just been so high. And again, at the start of the quarter, the first basket to me is always important.
The Bullpups are 19-1. They've won 17 games in a row. Their 18th game in a row and their 20th win of the season would put them to Emporia, and likely as the #1 seed at the state tournament, and they hope to get that done here tonight. Brittany Ho off of the inbounds play to start this fourth quarter, drives right to the hole and scores. Just her second basket, she's got 5, 39-23, and Brittany Ho is a player that will be a first-team All-State at the 5A level. 18 points per game and 9 rebounds per, and she's been frustrated tonight. How about Maggie Leaf spinning in, shot at the lane, at the rim, no good, and a rebound underneath for Hannah Landwehr. Bishop Carroll will get it across, 7:20 to go. Allison McPherson to the right wing, into the corner. Jaden Allen a three, an air ball. Rebound on the backside for Grace Pyle. They pressure her at the baseline. Numbers up the floor. Hannah Hageman into a 4-on-2. Lakin Schieferecke, a corner three in transition. That one's no good. And a rebound for Bishop Carroll. That one might have been, as Steve would say, the dagger.
Yeah, and Brittany Ho just pretty exhausted there, trying to get up and down the floor. She's got her hands on her hips. You know, not coming out. She's basically played almost the entire way. She's only missed 41 seconds. McPherson's played the whole game, and now Hageman's hurt now.
I think she might have just banged knees with whoever she was running up the floor with for Carroll. She was called for the foul.
Yeah, she says, I'm okay, but she's got some tears welling up in her eyes. I think she's hurting a little bit.
A couple of banged knees here so far tonight as players have been hurt. They've been falling down on the floor. A very physical game. 7 to go. McPherson leads by 16, 39-23. They'll inbound up top for Anna Otero, who they have been baiting to shoot all night. McPherson curls around, tries a three, no good. And a strong rebound by Grace Pyle. Outlets up the floor for Emma Ruddle, and the ball is knocked out. Eagles. Bishop Carroll fans not happy about that call. It happened right in front of them, and I think they might have an argument.
And Carroll is really crashing the boards. They're leaving the Bullpups, letting them to run down the court, leaking out, and I tell you, the Bullpups should have a bigger lead than they got, even though it's a 16-point game. This should be 25.
Grace Pyle gets hammered by Brittany Ho, who was trying to hedge over a screen, and Brittany Ho just ran through Grace Pyle. It looked like a great form tackle by an outside linebacker, and Grace Pyle will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. The good thing about Grace Pyle is that she is so tough. She is so stinking tough.
Well, she grew up with some brothers who were probably, she cut her no slack, and I think that little bang hurt as she missed that free throw quite a bit.
She misses the front end of the 1-and-1. I don't think her brothers made it easy on her in the backyard. 39-23 with 6:30 to go here in the sub-state finals. Bishop Carroll needs answers, and they need them quick. Schuckman drives in. Shot is good as she went right down the right side of the lane. Nice job defensively by J.C. Burghart to cut her off, but a good finish there by Chloe Schuckman. Lakin Schieferecke, her pass is deflected and stolen by Schuckman. Right at the half-court stripe. Schuckman drives, passes left corner. Back to McPherson. She pulls the trigger, a three, too strong, rebound out to the perimeter and taken away by Emma Ruddle. Jump ball will be called as Ruddle and McPherson throw each other around. Possession arrow in favor of McPherson.
I think Coach Stratman's he doesn't like the way the Bullpups are running their offense right now. It's kind of a sloppy quarter for McPherson, not handling the ball real well. They were so sharp offensively for 3 quarters. 5:57
to go. McPherson 39, Bishop Carroll 25. Back in 30 seconds, you're listening to Bullpup Basketball, 96.7 FM, KBBE. 5:57 left to go. McPherson leads 39-25. And they are trying to book their ticket to the state tournament in Emporia next week. The Bullpups still have some work to do here tonight as they lead by 14. 5:57 to go, but this game is in McPherson's hands at this point.
And the only way, really, I think Carroll can make this a close game at the end, they're going to have to make a bunch of threes, and that means McPherson is going to have to be the one, and she's just she was 2 out of 10 coming into this quarter.
Bullpups out of their own timeouts. Leading by 14, J.C. Burghart, Maggie Leaf, Grace Pyle, Lakin Schieferecke, and Emma Ruddle, the 5 on the floors. They'll inbound to Lakin Schieferecke. Both ups have to go to the length of the floor here.
Oh, that's a foul, yeah. She's been doing that all night, and I don't know why they have not been calling that, but that's, how many is that?
That is number 4 on Chloe Schuckman for Bishop Carroll, and that puts Lakin Schieferecke, the team's best free throw shooter, to the free throw line for 2. Lakin Schieferecke, so far this season, 76% from the stripe. 10 points per game for the junior. Her first free throw's good. Only 5 points tonight for Lakin Schieferecke, but she has been so calm. And you hear Steve and I say that word about Lakin a lot. Calm, cool, collected. Those words describe Lakin Schieferecke as she knocks down both free throws. Building her case for not only ABCTL Division III Player of the Year, how about first team All-State at the 5A level? Wow. Allison McPherson and Bishop Carroll, after Lakin makes both, they dribble down to the other end. McPherson misses one from 15. Rebound for Grace Pyle for a moment, but taken back away by McPherson. Now a reach will be called on Emma Ruddle. A little incidental contact there. That's her third, team foul number 6 here in the second half. 41-25.
And it's, I tell you, the difference in this game is going to be coaching, because it's the Bullpups, they saw how they were lining up. They already knew what kind of play Carroll was going to be running. I think Coach Ellett was the one that did the prep on this game, because he's the one that really seems to be making all the defensive calls.
Crazy deep 3, no good. Rebound, though. A foul will be called on a push on the back on Bishop Carroll. I believe, yes, they will say it. And now J.C. Burghart, who was going up for the board. She was fouled from behind on Kendall Forbes. That's her first. And the Bullpups are in the double bonus. And if they can make some free throws here tonight, they will be in great shape.
16 fouls have been called in the second half. That is a ton of fouls.
Especially since they've only played 2.5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
That's right.
J.C. Burghart steps to the free throw line for 2. She's taken 1 free throw so far this season, and her second one is also no good, just like her first. J.C. has played a really good game here tonight.
She has played a ton of minutes. But, you know, you had Hageman still trying to test her ankle out. Cooks got banged up. Bullpup's a little short-handed now.
And now J.C. misses the second one, so she goes 0 for 2 there. 5:25 to go. McPherson leads by 16. McPherson off the bounce, passes into the right corner to the freshman Kendall Forbes. And they will call a bump, I believe, on Maggie Leaf as she was bodying up Brittany Ho. A great center for this Bishop Carroll team. Leaf is called for the foul, her third. Team foul number 7, and Brittany Ho will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
And she's only got 5 points in this game so far. And Beam, I think, is going to come in for Burghart, maybe.
Not only is she just such a factor on offense, but in terms of defense, too, and rebounding, Brittany Ho is so good, and she misses the front end of the 1-and-1. It has been a tough, tough night for Brittany Ho. The Bullpups have locked her down defensively, and the game plan has been executed. Lakin Schieferecke dribbles in, kicks it out. Emma Ruddle stops in the lane. Little 8-footer, too easy for Emma Ruddle. She goes up over the top. Her third basket, she's got 6 points. The Bullpups lead by 18.
Yeah, and Brittany Ho is really, she's exhausted. She's hardly had a break, and, you know, the Bullpups have been constantly, you know, putting fresh bodies in there on the post. And she's just tired. Again, the Bullpups have the game plan for Bishop Carroll as they are calling out the plays. They were waiting for it there, but right at the top of the circle, Hannah Landwehr knocks down her second three-pointer of the night. She's got 6. Make it 43-28 McPherson with 4:33 to go. Grace Pyle dribbles one off of her knee, but lands right in the lap of Emma Ruddle, who was bumped down to the ground by Landwehr. That'll be her third, and Emma Ruddle will go to the free throw line for 2. 4:29 to go here tonight. The Bullpups closing in on a trip to the state tournament. Emma Ruddle with 2 free throws coming up here. So far 6 points for the junior guard, and that is good. What a season for Emma Ruddle and her junior campaign as well. Moved in last season after playing her freshman year for the Eagles over at Kent and Galva. She knocks down both free throws, and it took her a little bit of time to get adjusted here. But about this point in the season last year for Emma was when she became the most important player off the bench for them, and really turned into their stopper. And she's had a terrific junior season. Now trying to stop Allison McPherson. Passes into the lane. Forbes goes up. They count the basket. It's good, and the foul is called on Cassidy Beam. The fans thought that Forbes got away with a travel, but a little bit of contact there from Cassidy Beam. That's her first.
team foul number 8, and Kendall Forbes gets the basket to go, and an and one free throw coming up here.
That's what you call a little hop, skip, and a jump in a basket.
Kendall Forbes, give her a lot of credit tonight too, Steve. She's the leading scorer for Bishop Carroll so far, and she came in averaging 3 points per game, just a freshman. Her and one free throw spins in and out, rebound tipped out to the perimeter, out of bounds off Brittany Ho, and back to McPherson.
And I think if you told Coach Stradley before the game that Forbes would be their leading scorer, he'd had a big smile on his face.
4:11 left to go. McPherson leads by 15, 45-30. Emma Ruddle and the Bullpups with no pressure from the Golden Eagles bring the basketball from right to left. Ruddle with 8 points here tonight. 13 from Grace Pyle. 10 from Maggie Leaf with 9 rebounds as well. Right corner, Cassidy Beam, how about a three? That one hits off the back iron, no good. Rebound for Brittany Ho, who's trying to run the floor. Brittany Ho gets it poked out from behind by Maggie Leaf. Here comes Lakin Schieferecke into a 1-on-4, and wisely pulls the basketball back out. Down to 3:40 to go, and the Bullpups lead by 15. What did you call her, Steve? The Queen of Calm?
The Queen of Calm.
Cassidy Beam dribbling out by the half-court stripe. Bishop Carroll has now hit the point in this game where if they really want to try and stay in it, they almost have to foul.
Yeah.
But Lakin drives, kicks it out to the corner. Bullpups pull the basketball back out, and they get a big ovation from this Roundhouse crowd. Maggie Leaf on the left wing passes off for Cassidy Beam. And now they will foul Cassidy Beam. Allison McPherson called for the foul. That is her third, at least on my book. It might be her fourth. It is her fourth. My book was a little bit wrong, so McPherson picks up her fourth. That'll put Cassidy Beam to the free throw line for 2. 2 out of 3 at the free throw line for Beam this season. When you look at her, when you look at Grace Pyle that is out on the floor, Emma Malm, of course, missed the last half of this season due to a foot injury and a foot surgery as Cassidy Beam knocks down the first. When you look at those three leading the charge here for the next 2 years for this McPherson team and looking at this junior class as well, there's going to be a lot of fun McPherson basketball here on the horizon.
And Brittany Ho out of the game, to me, that indicates maybe Carroll down 17 with 3 minutes to go. They might be raising the white flag.
2 made free throws there by Cassidy Beam. The Bullpups lead by 17, 47-30. Allison McPherson will let the basketball roll out toward half court. She's met at half court by Emma Ruddle. What a daunting task that is. And now a moving screen called on Chloe Schuckman. That's her fifth. And the Bullpups are in control here tonight with 3:04 to go as Schuckman fouls out of the game.
And Ho is going to come back in because they basically only play 7 players.
3:04 to go, and the Bullpups lead by 17. Bishop Carroll from the floor tonight, 29%, 12 out of 42.
Yeah.
McPherson hasn't made a ton of shots. I mean, they're 16 out of 41, but it's been enough to put this team away.
It's been all about defense.
Maggie Leaf passes to the outside, and now McPherson will take a timeout with 2:53 to go. 47-30, the Bullpups lead. We'll take the timeout with them. Be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Bullpup Basketball, 96.7 FM, KBBE.
McPherson Glass Center has served the McPherson area since
2:53 to go here inside the Roundhouse tonight. Jim Joyner, Steve Sell, 96.7 FM, KBBE. McPherson leads 47-30. Here's a score update for you from Hoisington. The Smoky Valley Viking boys advanced in their sub-state semifinal. They beat Phillipsburg, who was 18-2, one of the top teams in 3A tonight. Congratulations to the Smoky Valley boys. I have a feeling the Duck was very excited on that one in Hoisington.
Oh,
what a great win for Coach Schneider's team.
Yeah, and now if they can just somehow win, that'd be 4 trips in a row to the state tournament. Remember, the Vikings were only 7-12 going into the sub-state.
2:53 to go here inside the Roundhouse as McPherson leads Bishop Carroll by 17, 47-30 in the sub-state finals. With a win, they would advance to Emporia to the state tournament. In 1981 and in 1982, the McPherson girls, you can see their banners here inside this building, their first 2 state championships. You want to know where those were played?
I was there.
Emporia. White Auditorium.
I was there.
Now Kendall Forbes will foul Andrea Sweat. That's her second. Andrea Sweat going to the free throw line for 2. Going back to a place where this championship run began.
And it's going to look a lot different at White Auditorium. They have renovated it since we were there in 80. Well, the last time we were there, I think it was about 85 or 86 maybe.
First of 2 free throws coming up for Andrea Sweat, and the first one is money. Andrea Sweat, although she's only taken 13 free throws this year and has only made 9 of them, I say only because she might be the best free throw shooter on this team. She was second in the free throw shooting contest.
Yeah, she can really stroke it.
Second one coming up for Andrea Sweat with 2:29 to go in the game. This one hits off the back iron, no good, and a rebound for Brittany Ho. 5 points, 9 rebounds for the senior center for this Bishop Carroll team. Bullpups lead by 18. McPherson works around a screen, dribbles to the right wing. Great defense by Ruddle to trailer and make sure she couldn't get open. Deep three from the top, Landwehr. That one misses short. Offensive rebound, Forbes dribbles in and scores. Kendall Forbes has 10 points, and she leads the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles. Bullpups lead 48-32 with 2 to go. Lakin Schieferecke gets mugged, and Coach Strathman calls a timeout before the foul. 1:58 to go. Bullpups will have the basketball, Steve.
I just lost my mind.
Let's hear it.
Bishop Miege boys upset by the Fighting Chanute Blue Comets.
Oh, my.
46-45. You got to be kidding me.
The Bishop Miege
Coach
boys.
Kinnaman is getting his text right now over there. I see him in the stands, and boy, howdy. I'll bet my friend Mike Sutcliffe down in Chanute. Look at him. The word is spreading like wildfire.
Wow. What a good night to be a McPherson Bullpup, Steve.
I think that is going to be the shocker of all shockers.
So the Bullpup girls lead 48-32. The Bishop Miege boys lose tonight in their sub-state final to Chanute. Wow. So their run of 3 straight state championships has come to a close, and another case for, don't you wish the Bullpup boys were still in 4A? Lakin Schieferecke will take the inbounds of the backcourt, and she is fouled by Kendall Forbes. Team foul number 30. 40. Been a ton on Bishop
I have
Carroll.
no idea why Carroll continues to foul and put the Bullpups at the line. I mean, now it's going to make the stats really look lopsided, but they have just been way too aggressive for their own good at times tonight.
1:55 to go as Lakin Schieferecke was fouled, and her first free throw spins it and out.
And Hannah Hageman still trying to work off the ankle. She's pacing over here. She's ready to celebrate, though.
Second free throw coming up for Lakin Schieferecke as the roundhouse comes to a close, or comes to a quiet. This one's no good. A rebound for Emma Ruddle for a moment, then it's taken back away. 48-32, McPherson leads. Pumping on a 3 is Landwehr. Throws up a crazy shot from 12. No good. Rebound for Grace Pyle. That's her 8th board. She has 13 points. She's knocked down to the ground, and she'll have 2 free throws coming up on the other end. The Bullpups are going to have some bruises, but
man, Carroll is just absolutely hacking the daylights out of the Bullpups. And not only are they just fouling, they're fouling very hard to maybe throw them off a little bit at the foul line. Someone better check that Miege score. That blows my mind.
13 points for Grace Pyle, and her first of the 2 free throws is no good.
And the Bullpups have struggled at the line here in the fourth
14
quarter.
out of 24 on the night.
Yeah.
Second free throw for Grace Pyle is good. Grace has got 14, 10 for Maggie Leaf, 8 for Emma Ruddle, 6 for Lakin Schieferecke, then 4 for Cassie Cooks, 3 for Andrea Sweat, and 2 each for J.C. Burghart and Cassidy Beam. 1:35 to go, and the Bullpups lead by 17. Allison McPherson flares a pass, right wing. Landwehr, good look from 3, spins it and out. Rebound underneath for Otero for a moment for Bishop Carroll. Ball out of bounds in the corner, and they will say that McPherson had her shoulder on the sideline, and back to McPherson.
Here comes Beam, here comes Sweat, Burghart out, Maggie Leaf out. Remember, no Cooks and no Hageman here for quite a bit of this second half due to injuries.
49-32 with 1:23 to go. Bullpups in control here tonight. Allison McPherson might be ready to pick up her 5th foul.
Yeah, but Schieferecke has just not been fazed by the quickness of McPherson.
Andrea Sweat trying to get rid of the basketball as Brittany Ho pressures her out by the half-court stripe. Cassidy Beam dribbling around. It feels like the last 3 minutes have just been Bullpups dribbling.
Yeah.
Grace Pyle, bounce pass back to Schieferecke with 1 minute to go. Back into the hands of Grace Pyle. Grace dribbles in, passes back down, gets knocked to the floor, and no foul called. Going to be some bumps and some bruises. But this is a team that doesn't care because they're going to Emporia.
Now, Brittany Ho, if 25 Forbes hadn't gotten the foul, Brittany Ho She was loading up a big old hack. She was going to slam somebody. She is one frustrated player out there.
47 seconds left to go here tonight. 49-32, McPherson leads. Grace Pyle and Lakin Schieferecke have a big high five and a hug out by half court. And Andrea Sweat steps to the free throw line for 2 here. 49-32, make it 50-32 as Andrea Sweat knocks down the first. Emma Ruddle checks out, Cassidy Beam out, Megan Eisenbarth into the game for the first time tonight.
And the Bullpups clear their bench, but for whatever reason, Carroll's not going to put their subs in and let them get a little, at least, play a little sub-state final game just to get the taste of it.
Second free throw for Andrea Sweat is good. She's got 5. The Bullpups lead by 19, their largest lead of the night. 47 seconds left, and the Bullpups continue to keep the pressure on because they do not want them to come down here and make a 3. McPherson works around a screen. Now tries a 3 from the top. It's blocked by J.C. Burghart. A rebound for Megan Eisenbarth, and now she'll be able to walk down to the other end with a couple of free throws. 35 seconds left to go. Kendall Forbes is fouled out for the Golden Eagles, and now a couple of freshmen getting into the game for the Bullpups.
Labertu and Ella Schmid getting into the game.
It's good to see those two as Grace Pyle erupts on the bench, and the Bullpup fans can feel it. They can taste the trip to state coming up next week. This is the McPherson team that has been trying to tell everybody, we're here. We're ready to go in 5A as Megan Eisenbarth's first free throw is good. Megan on the year, 2 for 2 at the stripe. Lauren Labertu and Ella Schmid getting their first ever taste at the varsity level. And you'll be hearing a lot about them in the next couple of years.
Well, it's not my team, but I would think you'd want to put, if you're Carroll, put some of your other girls in the game, let them get a chance, but they're sticking with their big guns.
Megan Eisenbarth knocks down both in her final game here inside the Roundhouse. The Bullpups lead by 21. McPherron's 3 is no good. Rebound, Megan Eisenbarth. Bishop Carroll passing away as the Bullpups get the ball back. Lauren Labertu with 20 seconds left. Crosses the time stripe from right to left. Coach Stratton and the Bullpups have directed everybody to not shoot. And the Roundhouse comes to its feet with 10 seconds left to go. There were some people that did not believe that the Bullpups belonged at 5A and that they would not be able to get out of 5A West and make it back to the state tournament. For the 4th consecutive year, the Bullpups are going to the state tournament, and they will try for state title number 10, and they will try to repeat as state champions, going from 4A1 to Class 5A for the 32nd time in 50 years of Bullpup girls basketball. They will be playing for a chance at a state championship. The final score here inside the Roundhouse, McPherson 53, Bishop Carroll 32. Bullpups win! Bullpups win! The Bullpups win it, and they are going back to state. Pack your bags, put the sign on the window. We're going to Emporia, Steve.
Yeah, that's a nice little trip, and boy, did they put on a performance tonight. They play defense like this, they could win it all.
What a win for the McPherson girls. And if the bracket holds the way that we believe it will be seeded, McPherson will be the number 1 seed, and they hoist that sub-state championship trophy high into the air. And the McPherson girls are going back to the state tournament. They are 20-1, and they have won 18 games in a row. And Steve, I don't like to throw out hyperboles all the time and say this is the best ever, this is the best we've ever seen, but I think we would have to say tonight, this was McPherson's best defensive game of the season. It might have been their best complete game, but certainly their best defensive game of the year. Came in probably their biggest game of the year against a very good Bishop Carroll team. They frustrated them all night. What a performance by the Bullpup girls tonight.
Well, they took away their 2 big players. McPherson was 6. Brittany Ho, I've never seen a girl so frustrated. She had 5 points. She only got 6 shots. She's a great player, and but the Bullpups had the answer.
McPherson's girls win 53-32. They are 20-1 on the year, 18 straight. Bishop Carroll will end the year at 15-7. They were 12-4 in the City League, and they had a terrific season. And Steve, this is the defending state runner-up in 5A at Bishop Carroll, and this is a team that had a very good chance to make a deep run. This is a team that, given several other classifications, could have been the best team in any classification, maybe even the best team in 6A, not named Derby. What a win for the McPherson girls tonight as they flat out dominated defensively.
Coach Strathman said they had every player back except for one player from last year's team that finishes state runner-up. And to be honest, this game was over. It really was 3 minutes into the game. At the 5:14 mark, it was 11-0, and the Bullpups never let it get under double digits the rest of the way.
What a win for the McPherson girls tonight. We'll step aside and come back on our CHS Refinery at McPherson postgame show. The Bullpups are going to state. They will play on Wednesday in the opening round. Opponent to be determined. What a win for the girls tonight, and they head back to the state tournament coming up next week. We'll take a break. Be back in 3 minutes. You're listening to Bullpup Basketball, 96.7 FM, KBBE.